What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to take you to a very special place that has helped me discover my sound and approach to production, and ultimately help inspire the build of this YYZ Underground sample pack for Loopmasters. So let's go. Finding your sound is vitally important. It's the number one thing that will distinguish you. You can learn a lot about a person by handing them your playlist. Every week, Beatport receives over 25,000 releases or tracks. So you think about that degree of saturation in music, like what would be the thing that distinguishes you? And it's your sound. It's vitally important. And Cosmos Records has been instrumental in helping me find my sound and ultimately my own voice as an artist. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me here. This store means so much to me in terms of my production journey. I first I got into hip hop originally when I was making music. We were like understanding these hip hop records, and we were like, where are these guys getting these sounds, right? Yeah. So eventually it just got to this place of discovering our parents actually already have these records in their collection. Yeah. Like this one, Jimmy McGriff, Let's Stay Together. Right. My dad played this record probably every morning, to wake me up to go to school. Yeah. And to come into the shop and see clean copies of this record. Yeah. And you eventually discover other things that are out there that help influence, at least for me, my musical palette. And one of the important things about this sample pack with YYZ Underground, it comes with all of this infused can you imagine? In it. And to be in the same spot where guys like Madlib, Pete Rock, Questlove, this spot is...
Dilla used to sit on the floor and dig, and
Jay Dilla too. That's the holy grail right there, the gap match.
But those guys, those guys that I mentioned, they work hard.
And that's why, I pay a special ode to this place, because everything you hear in the sample pack is not only a reflection of me discovering my sound, but the journey. I want to spend some time and show you how this, what I do outside of this record shop to compile the music. And
after the record leaves here, I don't know what they do with it. So
yeah.
So what is your approach to creating your sample pack?
Creative sampling is a term that I throw around a lot, especially, we've had these conversations with hip hop. Yeah. And it translates to what is done in electronic music as well. So the process was exhaust every piece of kit in my studio as much as possible. So my Arturia Matrix Brute, the Mini Brute as well, and the Arturia Microfreak definitely got featured in this pack, along with the Moog Sub 37. Anything that was analog and warm, I went after that. So I ran some things through, some analog tube 610 preamps, any distortion preamps. It all worked out very well.
So what is your approach to creating? Is it the beat or the lyric melody?
For me, it could be anything, even above and beyond that stuff. It could be a picture, something I saw. But generally, most of the time, I'm starting with a melody. Sometimes it's a beat, but most of the time it's with a melody, and I just anchor myself around that. A lot of people think sample packs are this thing that it's there to make things linear and you just drag and drop and the song is done. It's actually quite the opposite. It's really about the person who's, manning the ship, so to speak. So if I anchor myself most of the time on the melody, I'm listening to the groove of what I hear in that melody, and then I'm just building everything around it. Mm-hmm. So things like Loopcloud are actually a fixed part of my workflow.
So you make music for the club in a non-club environment. How does that work?
Great question. Well, it's just part of your your process. For me, it's more of a feeling, right? And visualizing how the music will be received in that environment. Like everything you do that you want to have happen in a club, you can put into the energy of that music. Having these types of products, you can immediately get out of the whole thinking process and just execute.
Putting the digital aspect of it and putting it together with someone like yourself, you know, and experiences that you had, and putting it together is a really good marriage.
Well, we were talking about record digging back in like the 90s and stuff.
How does that, you know, how would
I would never
dreamt that, you know,
the
this
two
would happen,
could coexist.
Right? Yeah.
Like a digital world of a sample library versus digging for records as the source. It's actually a beautiful
I think it makes sense.
marriage, completely, because they just complement each other in this new world, and it's not going away. So happy to be a part of it.